week, we are moving into our third week and closing our series of Living Your Faith, Body, Mind, and Spirit. As we turn our attention beyond that of our physical body, which is filled with intelligence, and beyond that of our mind, which we know is powerful enough to change molecular structure, as we discovered last week. Today we realign ourselves with spirit. Henry David Thoreau said, "With all your science, can you tell how it is, and whence it is, that light comes into the soul?" Good one. And in response, a quote from Christian de Quincey saying, "Scientists are in a strange place of being confronted daily by the indisputable fact of their own consciousness, yet with no way of explaining it." Lucky for us, we live in an awareness of our oneness with God all the time. Or at least that's my prayer for you and my prayer for myself, that we can live in this awareness of God all the time. We live in an age where information is available with websites and technology and Twitters and tweets and all of the above. And we come from a rich history of New Thought metaphysicians. We come from the awareness and the shared information by all the individuals who have studied truth in many ways. They've studied consciousness, they've studied prayer, they've studied meditation, they've studied metaphysics, they've studied quantum thought. And we have all of that at our fingertips. As truth students, we recognize that there is nothing supernatural about metaphysics. It's all here. It's all energy. It's all something that we can, with the power of our minds and hearts and intention, co-create with the divine. It's not magic. It's metaphysics. From the revealing word of Charles Fillmore, the phrase spirit, metaphysically defined, is as follows. Spirit is God as the moving force in the universe, principle as the breath of life in all creation, the principle of life, creative intelligence and life. We sometimes discover within ourselves a flow of thought that has been evolved independently of the reasoning processes of our brain. And we are puzzled about its origin and its safety as our guide. In its beginnings, this seemingly strange source of knowledge is turned aside as a daydream. Again, it seems a distant voice, an echo of something that we have heard and forgotten. One should give attention to this unusual and usually faint whispering of spirit. It is the development of man of a greater capacity to know himself and to understand the purpose of all creation. When one concentrates all the faculties or 12 powers within on truth ideas, the conscious mind and superconscious mind blend. And there is a descent of spiritual energies into the soul and body when the faculties receive new power to express truth. The body is renewed. And so it just reiterates the body, mind, spirit connection, all from the metaphysical description of the word spirit. Spirit is God moving, made manifest. I would say you all are moving, made manifest, so that must mean that you too are God. I would think so. Metaphysically means God means the Almighty One. We don't typically use that language in unity, but here it is, Charles Fillmore. Thank you, buddy. He also says creator, ruler of the universe, the infinite, the eternal, God is not a person up on a cloud, as some of us have been taught many years ago. But it is principle. God is principle. It is the underlying and unchangeable truth. God as principle is absolute good expression in all creation. God is only personal to us when we recognize the presence of God within us and within one another. It is our indwelling life, intelligence, love, power. There's a difference between a personal God and a God that is personal to us. The word personal sometimes leads us directly into a misunderstanding. It would probably be better if we spoke of God as individualized in man, as the essence of who we are, rather than to think of God as personal. When we identify ourselves with God as our indwelling Father, He seems personal. However, it is not in a personal sense, but it is the universal identification of God within. That is the truth of your nature. You are the universal essence of God. You are God consciousness expressing. You are God energy, alive with the hands and feet, the movement of who you are. I saw a lot of God expressing yesterday. It was all over the place. And those of you who were here cleaning, sharing your love and energy in this sacred community, got to experience God expressing in many ways, in many faces. So we have discussed within this particular series, Living Your Faith, Body, Mind, and Spirit, that if you don't feel connected in some way to this essence of your truth, there is what we call interference. And interference of the body can create pain or dis-ease, as Dr. Beck shared with us. That interference could be a subluxation in your spine, not allowing the energy to flow. In your mind, it can create negative thinking, reducing the energy of the power of our thoughts, or worse yet, using the power of our thoughts for things that are less than our highest. And now we have the possibility of the interference of spirit. What does the interference of spirit look like? It could be confusion. It could be lack of consciousness. It could be a lack of guidance, not knowing which way to go, where to turn, what to do next. It's generally a disconnection to life. So a symptom would be if you're walking around in circles not knowing what to do, stop. Just pray. Reconnect with Spirit where you are. Know that where you are standing is on sacred ground. Know that you are connected to the entire energy of the universe with every breath. Reconnect with the truth of your being. Sometimes when we do that, it's because we are a disconnect within ourselves, beyond just being disconnected with Spirit. We want to do one thing, but yet there's a should going on. How many here have should upon yourselves more than once in your lifetime? Yes, I should be doing this. I should be doing the laundry. I should be emptying the dishwasher. I should be washing the car. But what I really want to do is just sit down and watch a movie. You know? If you're in that level of momentary disconnect, just stop. Reconnect. Allow Spirit to guide you. You can ask Him what color socks to wear in the morning. It won't matter. Ask everything. It's just a separation from our acknowledging the powerful self that we are. It's a separation from acknowledging that we have all the wisdom of the universe within. It's a separation of acknowledging that we are born and made in the image and likeness of God. here manifest on earth, because there are so many distractions in our world that tell us otherwise, that remind us of the imperfection, the interference of God active. You know, an interference starts within us. That's why it's called an interference. If it started somewhere else, it would have a different name. Outerference. Exactly. It starts within you, within your mind, within your heart, within your body. You're the one that's disconnected. And you have everything you need by taking a deep cleansing breath to reconnect. So not only can we reconnect with our mind, we can reconnect with our body, we can reconnect with our spirit. So how do we put this to practice? You know I'm all about practical. Charles and I love to make it practical. So let's consider our friend the fish. Can you all see him?
Going away.
No, he's heading towards you. Here's his little mouth.
Oh.
No,
Oh, yeah.
can't see it.
Well, just, if you
Only
can't
in
see
chat.
it, envision a fish
Oh, I see.
Yep.
and allow these words to sink in. Sherry, maybe you can shut the lights out.
Yeah, wait.
So, consider the fish. The fish is in water, surrounded by water. And in observing the fish, we don't really know if the fish knows this truth, that the fish is in water, surrounded by water. We don't know if the fish knows that or not. The fish only knows when it is no longer in water, surrounded by water. The fish can sense separation from the water because the fish suffers. When life is good, the fish can breathe and food is plentiful. The fish forgets anything about being in water, surrounded by water, until the next time it is not. So, I invite you to close your eyes and imagine yourself standing in front of the mirror, looking at yourself. And allow my words to be the words in your mind and heart. So we, seeing ourselves in the mirror, are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are filled with spirit, surrounded by spirit, and observing ourselves in the mirror, or anyone else in our lives, we really don't know if this human knows this truth, that the human is filled with spirit, surrounded by spirit. The human only knows when it is no longer filled with spirit, surrounded by spirit. The human can cause separation from spirit. The human senses this separation from spirit because the human suffers. When life is good, the human can breathe and food is plentiful, but the human forgets anything about their being filled with spirit, surrounded by spirit, until the next time it is not. That is our plot. Remembering each and every day that we are filled with spirit, surrounded by spirit. That is our task, to remember your oneness. Thank you. The teachings of unity and new thought are based in spirituality, psychology, and science, all woven together. By the mere fact that you are present here today in a metaphysical spiritual center, you are having the awareness that there is more. there's more. I want to know what it is. I want to know how it works. I want to know how to apply it to my life. I want to make it practical. It is the universal life source, energy, spirit, God. It's what propels you to move forward. You don't have a Duracell battery in you, but there's something, and you want to know what it is, or you wouldn't be here. So it's a dangerous thing to forget that this it, that we think we know but really don't, sometimes remember, sometimes not. It's dangerous to forget that it's working all the time, whether we're aware, consciously aware, or not. So remind yourself that you are like the fish. Remind yourself that a human being having a spiritual experience is filled with spirit, surrounded by spirit every single moment, every single breath. Remind yourself of the power of your mind by remembering the images that were shared last week. Remind yourself of the healing ability of your body. It's a miraculous thing that can heal itself, pretty much without any help from others, and sometimes you. Spirit just takes over. The energy of the universe propelling you to live and move and breathe and have the expression of God just takes over. Have you ever tried to stop a cut from healing? Probably not. I know some 7-year-olds that have tried that, but they couldn't make it work. So recognize and acknowledge the wisdom of your body in every single cell. Recognize and acknowledge the power of your mind. Recognize and acknowledge spirit as the invisible, get the word in, invisible essence that is connecting you to all that is. Can you see it? No. Can you taste it? No. Can you trust in it? Yes. This is a very powerful trinity. The energy of mind, body, spirit. The omnipotent truth that should not be forgotten. Namaste.